All right, let's be honest and talk about how wealth is really actually made. Right now, we've got setup going down for hundreds of people. They're about to visit me at my event center. They're dedicating 3 full days of their life for me to teach them how to build wealth. Now, let's define wealth. Are we talking in today's video about how to make millions of dollars, or are we talking about how to potentially make billions? Well, I'll tell you this. The wealthy are doing 5 specific things to create wealth out of nowhere, and we're gonna learn from 5 of the wealthiest people on the planet today. They're gonna teach us, and I'm gonna relay to you what I am doing, and what you can model. If you model what the wealthy do, you're gonna be wealthy.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
All right, so today we're gonna talk about 5 things that specifically are going to make you wealthy. Now, by the way, this sounds like a really crazy promise, but here's what I need you to understand. When you R&D, rip off and duplicate, basically carbon copy, copycat people that are doing things that make them really, really successful, you usually get the same results. Often the success that someone experiences in life is not about their personality, it's about the system that they're following. So today we're gonna learn from some very, very wealthy people, 5 in particular. Many of these names you're actually gonna know. These are individuals who have created extreme amounts of wealth, and all they're doing is replicating these systems that I'm talking about. If you do what they do, you can have what they have.
I'll have what I'm having. I'll have what I'm having.
So the question is, what is the model for becoming wealthy? Like, can you learn how to become wealthy in school? Like, will college teach you that? You know, my dad was a huge proponent for education because he was a German immigrant. He worked hard his entire life as an entrepreneur, and he said, son, if you want a good life, you gotta get good grades, you gotta go to college, and then you can get a good paying job out there. Turns out though that most jobs pay $50,000 to $100,000 a year. And if you've ever tried to live off of that amount of money, that's really frankly enough to live, I don't know, pretty average lifestyle. Wealthy is about getting ahead. So college isn't gonna teach you that. Where do you go? Well, you've gotta learn from the wealthy, which is why today we're going to learn from 5 of the most wealthy individuals that are out there. They've got great advice on how to become wealthy. I agree with all 5 of their opinions. I'm leveraging and using all 5 of their different opinions. So I want you to understand that what you're doing right now as a subscriber on my channel is you're being mentored by me and by the others that I'm representing here, and we're giving you models. And as long as you follow through on the 5 pieces of advice I'm about to give you, you can then expect to create wealthy results. Now let's get something out of the way. Wealthy people are not more special than people who haven't built their wealth yet. Let me prove it. Many people assume that the wealthy inherit their riches. So like you were born into money. 80% of millionaires are self-made. They are first generation millionaires who had to get creative and work for their money. That was certainly the case with me. I started life in debt. I didn't start with any special handouts. I had to figure out how to become a self-made millionaire. And if that's the situation that you're in for watching this video, you're gonna love these 5 pieces of advice. Get ready to take notes. Millionaire School is in session.
Son of a bitch! You done messed up, Aaron!
One of the first millionaires that really influenced me was Robert G. Allen. I remember when I met him for the first time and I read his book, Multiple Streams of Income. And at the start of the book, he says, you know, there was a time when one income was enough to take care of the family. But guess what? Times are changing, which is why you have these dual income earning families. And now sometimes 3 incomes is not enough. Check out what the IRS has to say about point number 1, which is if you want to be a millionaire, you have to have multiple streams of income. According to the IRS, most millionaires have, guess how many streams of income? 7 streams of income. Now I want you to think about that for just a moment. I own this real estate and it produces monthly cash flow for me. And I own this other business and it's producing money for me. And I also make money over here. They're making money in, count them out, 7 different ways. And guess what that means? It means that you have to break the mindset of, well, I have a job, I do the job, I collect my W-2 or 1099 income, and then I'm just trying to make more money at that job. That's your problem. Stop trying to make all your money in one place, just like don't put all your eggs in one basket. You should be cultivating your second stream of income, your third, your fourth. So at the end of this video, you should be asking yourself, what is the next stream of income that I should be trying to create right now in my life? The second piece of advice comes from Warren Buffett. Now, you probably know this because he's given billions of dollars away. The man controls trillions of dollars amongst all of his companies. He's a master enterpriser who has learned how to do mergers and acquisitions. He's bought all of these companies. He made his first billion in his 50s. Today now, he's worth close to $100 billion. That's after all the billions he's given away. There's something to definitely learn from him, which is why number 2 is his advice: you must earn money while you sleep. Or the precise way that he said it is, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. In other words, if you're trading time for money, you're going to get stuck. You have to find a way to be earning money by not giving your time. And I think you know what that means. You're going to have to find a way to put some of your hard-earned savings to work, doing something meaningful for you. For him, that is a requirement. You've heard of Richard Branson, right? The guy is crazy successful entrepreneur, owner of Virgin Airlines. He owns Necker Island. He loves supporting entrepreneurs. He's written some great books. Let's learn a little bit from him. He says number 3 is you have to use OPM. And you know what that stands for? It stands for other people's money. In other words, if you're going to build wealth, you can't just rely on your own savings. It's too slow. It's not enough leverage. Here's what he had to say. He said, learn to raise capital by any means necessary. That's your primary job as an entrepreneur. You must continually raise capital from family, friends, banks, suppliers, customers, and investors. In other words, he really understands that the world really moves with money. Money is how you buy talent. Money is what you trade for just about everything that you need. And there's no way to scale or grow a business or real estate, a portfolio, or anything if you don't have money. So if you're only relying on what you can, hey Kris, I'm working hard at my job, I'm saving as aggressively as I can, and every little bit I save, I invest. And if he were here right now, he'd say, too slow, that's the wrong way. You gotta be getting scratched, gotta be getting money from a little bit of everywhere so that you can go faster. Number 4 is really important, but something that I don't think a lot of people would expect. Last week I just got back from Ukraine. I used my foundation. We put up a bunch of money. We helped raise a total of $1 million. And we went into that country and we smuggled in these supplies so that we could restock the hospitals that had been running out of special requests for their patients. Some of these literally life-saving requests. We had also delivered trauma supplies to the front lines, body armor, and brought food and just necessary resources to refugee camps where people just didn't have the resources. They lost their jobs, their homes, their communities. They didn't have any of those things. And part of that was our mission of giving back. It says you must give back. There's a reason that Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Oprah give so much to charity. They know that the key to wealth is to share it with others. And I believe that if you become wealthy, there's an obligation to redistribute that wealth, and you get to redistribute it on your terms for what you feel passionate about. And often, one of the great secrets anyway of becoming wealthy is not to consume it all for you. And I'm gonna tell you, I study you. Like, I know in general things about you. I know that if you're watching my channel, if you're a subscriber, it's because one of your greatest desires for building wealth is not for you to have a nicer lifestyle. One of the biggest reasons is because there are people in your life that you want to serve. There's family members, there's friends, there's organizations that you want to meaningfully impact. And I just want to tell you, you're in the right place and you're barking up the right tree, because these wealthy people, and myself included, we most certainly believe that wealth is a responsibility, it's also a stewardship, and it should be granted to those that will make good choices with it. And so giving it back and starting to learn how to do that right now is a very important part of becoming next level wealthy. Imagine for a moment that your next goal was to make $1 million. Do you know how many successful decisions you need to make for that $1 million to manifest? It's probably over 1,000, and it could be tens of thousands. So you have to be a really good decision maker. And years ago, when I came across Bob Proctor in the film The Secret, I learned a lot from him about that decision making. And he's back with this advice. Number 5, you must operate on opportunity rather than the fear of failure. The fear of making decisions is the result of fearing to make a mistake. The truth is, the fear of mistakes has a greater impact on you than making the mistakes itself. Now, Bob was really wise when he said that. I heard it from Napoleon Hill in his book, A Little Bit of a Different Way. he basically said that the cost of indecision is far greater than actually the cost of making a mistake. So there's a lot of decisions between you and that next level wealth. You're gonna have to be decisive, even if sometimes you get it wrong, because if you don't make enough decisions fast enough, that money ain't never coming your way anyway. Listen, this is all really important information for your journey of learning how to become wealthy, but you know what? It's also just the beginning. I wrote this book this year. It's called Have It All. It's the roadmap to becoming a self-made millionaire. When I wrote this book, I poured my heart and my soul into it. I had it written several times over. It's the 5th book I've ever put out. I feel so passionate about the specific step-by-step roadmap that it gives for becoming a millionaire for the first time, or 10 million, or even 100 million, or more. If you want to be wealthy like the people you've seen here today, or if you feel like it's in your stars and you have a big heart, you want to give back and you've got good reasons for that, I want to give you a copy of this for free. Now, there's a link below, and if you click it, all I'm going to ask is that you cover the shipping. And if you cover the shipping, the book itself, the cost of the book, everything, it's full color. I'm going to send it to you. And what it's going to do is it's going to show you 5 different things that I do that build all the wealth I could ever imagine. Now, I want to tell you something. When I first started following the philosophy in this book, what it did is it helped me in 4 years go from nothing deeply in debt to $1.6 million in net worth and a 6-figure residual income. Fast forward 15 years later, and this year, my net worth is growing 9 figures. So I'm not done on my journey. My wealth is continuing to grow, but it's using the philosophy in this book. That's why I want to give it to you for free. So if you want to get a copy of this, click the link below, and I'll make sure that my team sends it out to you. Sometimes it's hard to imagine what wealth feels like, so we don't even know how to practice it because we can't really imagine it, which is why just a little while back I made a video on what it's like to actually be a millionaire. And if you're curious what the day-to-day of that is really like, click this video and let me show you. Water showing up. I'm not lactating. You good? We're gonna walk fast. You ready? Yep. All right, let's be honest and talk about how wealth is